this is where the magic comes. This is where you can save yourself a lot of headaches, a lot of money on recruiting and hiring and paying for cleaners that are completely unnecessary. Open every day of the week. You are my full-time guy. So John, you want the place to be clean. I agree with you. I want the place to be clean too. So here's how we're going to do it. Thank you for joining me in Artuitous Place. Today we are going to go back in and restart our Big Ambitions playthrough with the version 0.2 update. This update added a gym, fruit and vegetable store, and I believe health insurance with the number of balance passes as well, including balancing the clothing store and the gift shop. So we're here at Jensen's. We're going to go ahead and take out the loan. I kind of bypassed the early stuff, the Uncle Fred telling us to get a job and go to sleep and buy a fridge and all the nonsense. I don't think we need to see that. It's been done a million times already. So without further ado, let's go ahead and speak to Larry. We have to unpause the game first. Let's talk to Larry. We want a new loan. We want 15 grand and confirm. So I'm not sure how big of an impact the rebalance on the clothing store and the gift shop are going to be. Right now we need to find where we're going to set up our first gift shop. That one's okay-ish. That one's going to be it. 23 foot traffic, 15 people. Alright, let's go ahead and run it. I'll take a look. It looks like every other small one. Oh my, they did make the floors look significantly uglier than they were pre-update though. Alright, well now I understand why people come in. This looks like somebody took one of those pallets that you see all the videos on. I took this pallet and turned it into a coffee table. Well, this one looks like they broke down a pallet and put it on the ground and called it a floor. So we're definitely going to want to get that fixed. Walls are just, plain bare. We'll get there. We're going to go ahead and start the gift shop. Now we're going to go off script with Uncle Fred here. We all know he gives us the best of intentions, but he doesn't give us the best of advice. And sometimes his ideas would end up not working out in our best interest in the long term. So we will call this Trinkets or Trash. Obviously, we're not going to be opening the store yet. We don't have any of the item, but this has got to be changed. This is hideous. Let's go with something a little nicer looking. We'll go black, white background. Maybe we'll do white with a black background. There we go. I mean, it's still not great looking, but it looks better than it did before. And that's going to be kind of our corporate colors through this playthrough. We're going to be blue, black, and white. So now my objective is to quit my job and only source of income immediately after taking a huge loan from Jensen Financial. I'm sure Larry would love Uncle Fred giving me that advice, so we'll go ahead and do that. This should end up getting us the Hansa Mimic, the free car that Uncle Fred gives us. And then we can start getting into the meat of the game. So I'll be back with you here in a moment after I get down to the car. And we'll go through how we're going to set up the first shop. So we picked up our Hansa Mimic. We're headed up to Square Appliances to see if we can't squeeze in just before they close and pick up the furniture that we're going to need for the new store. Thankfully, this first gift shop, everything that we're going to need. Well, that's nice. All the cars backing up out of the way. Kind of slide in here. Little ding, and they're closed. So, all for naught. Alright, well, we'll have to pick it up in the morning. Technically, I don't even think we have time to get to the wholesaler now, so I'll pick this back up in the morning. We'll go get this shop set up. Luckily, it's right down the road from where we stay, so getting in to work every day will be nice and easy for the first few days while we work. So I ran over to Square Appliances and picked up the items that we're going to need. It's going to be 2 rounded shelves, cash register, drawers. I can't say a cabinet. We're just going to call them cabinets because for some reason I want to keep calling it a cabinet with dwarves, which would be cool but probably illegal. And we're going to go ahead and throw this together real quick, and we got to do something with these floors. These floors actually, I think these floors are ugly. I wonder if we can get the old style, like plank pine wood floors back in that the people used to think were ugly. Yeah, but they don't think they're so ugly anymore. Grab that out of order. That's fine. We'll grab this. Place it here and here. So it's pretty standard setup. Nothing crazy about it. I did forget to go in here and not do a loan repayment. Thank you. Knew I was going to forget something. Alright, let's get the drinks fridge in. We're going to head over to Ica Boag here shortly. Get the little speakers so they don't whine about it being too quiet. We'll do something about these hideous floors, and the walls do look pretty rough too. They look pretty much like it's unpainted plasterboard, or I don't know what it is, but it sheetrock doesn't really look like just plain unfinished sheetrock, but whatever it is, it's ugly. We need to make something look better. Drinks fridge over here in the corner. Normally I don't pause while I'm doing this, but we got so much we want to get done because we want to be open tomorrow that I need to save every little bit of time that I can. Cleaning station will go right here. Go ahead and throw the cleaning station back here next to the restrooms that are inoperable. And next up, we are going to run over to the...
Very, very nice. Starting to look like a real store now.
Again, we're going to ignore him. He's going to send us to the local distributor, which just is terrible. We'll go to the drive-in. Alright, we're here at the wholesalers where we're going to buy our first initial stock. We'll grab the hand cart. 1 bag of paper bags, 1 can or 1 box of soda cans. Do I want to get 2 soda cans? Yeah, I might as well. Pop these in the trunk. We'll just go ahead and drive up here and grab the cheap gifts and expensive gifts. I mean, price-wise, cheap gifts look, or expensive gifts look a little more pricey, but I can't remember the exact number from the previous one, and that did vary from time to time in the other playthrough we were doing, so could be misremembering. We'll find out here shortly. We're about to go stock up the store, and I forgot to eat, so yay for me. Luckily, no, we're probably not going to sleep inside the building. That'd be a terrible idea. Alright, so I'm going to run these supplies over to the shop, and then we're going to head to Ica Boag, pick up the speaker, and then we're going to do something about how disgusting that floor looked, because that was really bothering me, actually. Alright, so back here at the store, we're going to go ahead and load the inventory into everywhere that it needs to go. We'll define this one as cheap, this one as expensive. Run and run. One little thing I like to do, especially at the beginning, when I'm the one running.
To open up and start handling some cash, making
yes,
some money.
Thanks, Fred. Yep, that's the plan. That's why we're opening a business, to make some money. Thanks for the insight. One thing I like to do is I like to take the hand truck and just park it back here in the storage area with the items still on it. Makes it easier for me at the end of the day to go restock the shelves. And before we go any further, let's just get this floor changed out, because that is just terrible. Let's see. I mean, it's cheap, but it's kind of fancy looking. How about this one? Oh, one of the other things that they fixed with this update is they made dirt a whole lot more visible when you're cleaning, so you no longer have to worry about putting light floors only down, because it would hide the dirt. It actually highlights the dirt for you now. Alright, the score 45%. We're going to get a radio, so that'll help a little bit. Let's run back here. We'll go ahead and do these walls too. Try and get that score up a little bit higher. And was it this floor? We'll just make the whole building the same. So it's probably not going to be enough to completely please them, but it's affordable and it makes it look less, makes my eyes bleed a little bit less looking at it myself, and that's what really matters. Alright, I'm going to run over to Ikaboag now, pick up the speaker, maybe a rug or two, but I don't know that the rugs are necessarily going to be needed because this looks like a carpet that already provides a little bit of relief. Maybe some plants or something for the wall. I'll figure it out when I get there. Alright, so we're here at Ikaboag, my least favorite store in the entire game. So we're definitely need the clock on the wall because we want to know when we can leave and stop having to deal with the public. We also need the little speakers so they quit moaning about it being quiet in here. You know, it was nice and quiet until you started complaining about everything. We're not going to bother doing any walls, decorations, or anything like that. My understanding is it still doesn't impact the interior design score, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So there's no point putting money into it, and I don't think they have a lot of really good options for different paintings or stuff I could put on the wall, and I'm not putting a TV in there because when I do hire people, I don't want my employees watching TV all day while the customers fumble around trying to take care of everything themselves. So run all this back. Well, I say all this, all we got is a clock and a loudspeaker. We'll run this junk back to the store, set some hours, and get ready to make some money and see how badly they've actually nerfed the gift shops. So I'm back here at Trinkets or Trash, and I've decided to go ahead and change the colors on two of the walls. I think it just looks a little bit nicer that way. Also got the score up closer to that $5,000 magic number. And now we're going to get in and actually set up a schedule. Opening hours, we're going to be open from noon until 9. We will be open every day except for Monday and Tuesday for the time being. The reason for that is I've got stuff I want to get done. I need to take some time during the week to restock the store, and also hopefully after the 2 days we'll be able to start looking to hire some people in. So our days running the store will be somewhat shortened. It's after 9 o'clock on Friday. I can go ahead and do this without causing any issues. So now it's just time to go home, get some rest, make sure we eat some damn breakfast so we don't die halfway through our shift. And then we'll see how oh, we didn't check pricing. Pricing is very important. Well, that definitely is a big difference. Expensive gifts used to be at least $40-something, and now their base price is $32. The cheap gifts, I think the cheap gifts are pretty close to where they used to be, but let's try bumping it. Oh, it goes up by tenths. That's nice. Let's try bumping everything up a little bit off the get-go. 36. We'll leave the sodas where they are. Millions of people in the city have sodas, so we can't really tax too hard on those. Let's see where we get with 36 and 20 for our gift prices. Get some sleep. We open at noon, I think, so we'll sleep until 11. Grab a brunch and head to work and see if we can't make our fortune. I am a little curious to see how much profit we can actually turn out of this now with the, it looks like the expensive gifts got the nerf, not the cheap gifts. Really didn't have to wake up at 11. It's literally 3 minutes to walk to work, but that's okay. We will start working. Let's fast forward. I want to see what the people say when they come in, if they still think the walls and floors are ugly. Well, no complaints yet. We're doing things. We're making money. So I think we've at least satisfied that they're not going to complain about everything being hideous and ugly. So now we just need to see what kind of money we did. This, oh, that's so much nicer. They said they made it a little bit easier to find dirt. That's not a little bit easier, that's night and day. It means that using these other floors, we're no longer kind of restricted to just using the light colored floors because you can actually see the dirt now. No? Well, I say you can see the dirt, and maybe there's some directly underneath the... Okay. Alright, must have been back there somewhere. Alright, well, let's go home, get some sleep, and more importantly, see how much money we made. We will wake up again. Tomorrow is Sunday, so we will be open at the store. Let's wake up at 11:30. I mean, we made $2,000. That's not as good as I was hoping for normal. Remember, this is normal. This isn't the hard playthrough like we did before. Let's take a look here. Insights for the first day. Pricing was fine. They got mad because it got a little bit dirty towards the end of the day. Well, you know, if you quit tracking in all the dirt from New York and smearing it across my carpets, it wouldn't be dirty in this shop. Traffic index, we knew that was going to be low. Can't really do marketing yet. I think we can try and tweak these prices a little more. Let's go to 38 and 21 and see where we stand there. We'll go ahead and run through this one real quick, and then we'll have 2 days off and we'll figure out what else we could do. Because if the money's going to be like that, we're going to struggle to expand. It's going to take, it'd be a slow burn for sure. Run over here, take a nap. Let me see $3,000. $3,000, and we can live with $3,000. If we don't get $3,000, it's going to be kind of harsh. Now tomorrow we need to go to school, and the school opens at 6, so we want to wake up about 5:20 would be fine. 5:19. All right, I mean, $3,000, we can live with that. We could definitely do better. We're going to have to get some more items in there. We can't just depend on the expensive gifts to fund our empire anymore.
Hell, look at you hustling around and
Yes.
stacking cash already.
Money,
I'd say
money, money.
you're
Thank you,
dapper.
Mr. Fred, or Uncle Fred. And like I said, if we knew this was coming, we had to go do the basic management course. I think we can get in and get the entire course done today. We won't be able to do the entire administration one, but we're not at that point anyway, so we're going to be stuck with this one store for a while. Take our time and actually maximize the profit from this store before we bother. Or if not maximize, at least increase the profit from this store before we look at expanding into another business. So yeah, we can get the whole basic management course done today. Well, that's different. We actually have to tell it to skip time instead of automatically doing it. That's fine. I guess it gives you the option to back out if you change your mind. We have $13,000, so we actually have the money to look at expanding our current shop. While I'm here, let's make contact with the Square Appliances. I forgot to do this, which normally one of the first things I do is go sit down with the managers of all the businesses and exchange phone numbers. So I don't think, pause this for a second, I don't think this one, so this is all the new stuff for the grocery store, the fruit and vegetable store. We'll get into one of those eventually. I'm not in a rush. I don't know how valuable or how much money you're going to actually make with a produce store in middle of New York. Imagine in real life, if you had real farm fresh imported daily stuff, you might make some good money, but we're ordering it from the same wholesalers, so why they would buy from me as opposed to just going to El Gato's or whatever supermarket chains they have in New York City. What I was looking for, so we have options. We could get the rounded shelves, we could put cheap and expensive flowers in. I've done well with them at gift shops before. Or we could try cigars and wine. I think think we're better off with the flowers for now, just because the cigars require so many cigars to fill out. We also got to get something to eat again because our guy's starving. I thought we ate breakfast this morning. Maybe I forgot. I don't know. Let's get 2 more rounded shelves. Throw these down in the trinkets or trash. We do need to get over to Anderson Recruitment as well. What time do they close? Closing in 1 hour. Son of a... So they're closed. Never mind. Alright, change. Am I even going the right way? Yeah, I am. Change of plans. We're not going to go to the recruitment place today, which does mean we're going to be working a store for an extra day, which isn't the end of the world either. Alright, so I just restocked the store, and I set in our 2 new rounded shelves. We're going to run over to the wholesaler. I think we have enough time to get there to get the expensive flour and the cheap flour. Luckily, the boxes are the same, so the boxes contain 25 expensive flours. Shelf holds 25. Cheap flours come 40 to a box. Shelf holds 40, so we'll just get 2 boxes of each, or yeah, probably 2 boxes of each, and 1 more box each of expensive and cheap gifts. I think we're good on sodas. I had to make a slight change of plans. I wasn't able to get over to the wholesaler in time. He closed pretty much as I was pulling up to it due to getting stuck in traffic. It has nothing to do with my horrible driving and parking ability. It was all just bad luck. So I went ahead and got some groceries. We'll go ahead and go to sleep, and then tomorrow we will first head to the Anderson Recruitment Agency so we can start getting some employees recruited, and then we will head over to the wholesaler and stock the store up. I'm not going to bother starting I don't even have the words. That was absolutely terrible on my part. Let's take the groceries inside. But anyways, as I was saying, I don't want to terminate my rent. I want to go put the food in the fridge, have a bite to eat, and go to sleep. Thank you. I didn't even see what time we're waking up at. Sleep until 8. Well, 7:30. We'll run over to the wholesaler, like I was saying, get the cheap and expensive flowers. Not sure how long this car is going to hold up the way I'm driving today, but Anderson Recruitment first, wholesaler second. Get everything set up, and we'll see if these flowers might make a difference. We got 10 grand after we buy all this stuff. I think we'll be able to get 5 or 6 recruits in, or resumes in. Maybe we should go. We're going to go to the wholesaler first, and then go to Anderson. That way we'll know kind of what we're working with. Excuse me, coming through. Nobody saw that. There's no tag on my car. You can't prove it was me. Windows are completely tinted out. Can't see who's driving anyways. Good luck proving anything. Ignore the massive swelling bruise on my forehead from where the airbag deployed. There's nothing to see here, guys. Alright, so into here we go. What I need is the ability to strap a handcart to the roof of my Mimic. 1, it would let me have one with me at all times, and 2, I wouldn't have to waste any spot in the trunk for it. Sodas we look great on. We needed cheap gifts, expensive gifts. One box of each. I think we had. What's our inventory look like? Because we wanted 2 boxes each of the new stuff. Sodas look fine. Cheap gifts and expensive gifts, we have more than a box in reserve, so yeah, we'll be good. This will tide us over for the rest of the week. Flowers, I think, around the corner here, so it makes more sense to drive the car over. Flowers aren't going to be big money makers, but they could. Every little bit counts right now. And I've had pretty good luck selling them out of the gift shops in the past. Not jewelry. Might be able to do cheap jewelry out of a gift shop, but I'm not willing to test that right now. We don't have the money to take chances like that. Cheap jewelry, I think, does better in a clothing shop. Alright, we're over here at Anderson. Make contact with them. We have about $7,000. Trinkets are trash. We want some youngsters that hopefully don't care about things like health insurance because I can't afford to provide it to them right now. That's probably a little excessive. Let's get 6 candidates. We need 2 good ones, and I need them tomorrow. Customer service. We're not going to bother with cleaners. I'm going to show you how to avoid ever having to hire a cleaner for any of your retail businesses here shortly. The only time you'll need a cleaner is for your corporate offices, any of your white collar jobs. They're too highfalutin to actually bother pushing a broom themselves, so they'll bitch about it being dirty but won't do anything to make it better. Those are the only businesses that you'll actually have to hire a cleaner for. Just make sure I'm going the right direction. Now, eventually I'll get the map down again, but we didn't see that either. Surprisingly, I still have 70% of the car left, so that's pretty good in my book. Grab these 2. Cheap flowers on this side, expensive flowers on this side, and we're going to do the same thing with this load of gifts and reserve flowers as we did with the first one. Just park the hand truck in the back. We technically could have bought a storage shelf by now, but we'll worry about that just before we bring an employee in, because they might not understand the genius that the hand truck is, and it saves me $1,200 for now when I actually need it. Later on, when I have plenty of money, it won't be as big a deal. We could go get a few hours of the business administration course in, but I don't really see the need for it yet. We're pretty far away from having a second business, so I guess at this point we're just going to call it a day. Like an idiot, I woke up entirely too early. We don't have to work until noon, so we'll wake up at 11:01. Wasn't like there was any income to look at. The store was closed yesterday. Alright, we've got a couple of candidates to review. We'll get over here into the store first. Let's take a look. What did you bring me? So John Costa, 27 years old, pretty good at his job, wants a full-time position, critical, and clean work environment important. Well, don't worry about that, John. You're going to be the one cleaning, so if you're not happy with how clean it is, do better. So John's definitely a leading candidate. We have 4 more candidates. Clyde over here, Clyde Garcia, $20 an hour, 38%, even a little bit better at cleaning. John, you might want to talk to Clyde over here, see if he can give you a couple of pointers to get that extra 1% of cleaning up for you. But for right now, we are going to go ahead and let the rest of the applicants come in. I'm not doing any training outside of HR, just because their demands go up as they train, which means that it can be more difficult to keep employees. Let's see who else they brought for us. So we got John, Clyde, we got Preston Mija. Part-time, but you want 5 days a week. That's not going to work, Preston. It sucks too because you're pretty good, but I don't do half shifts. You work 10 hours a day. Florence May is absolutely phenomenal at her job, for an untrained employee rather, but she wants health insurance, and we can't offer health insurance right now. Willis Burrows, full-time. Here we go. Sanford Wheatley, you are the man for us. I think you're a man. 24 years old, you want $20 an hour, 40% customer service, 8% cleaning, part-time critical. So you and John are hired. So we're going to run in here. We're going to go to employees. We need to make a uniform. Gift shop. We will wear the green shirt. Some blue jeans. Some tan shoes. Gotta have the visor. Don't need an apron. Women that come to work here will wear a green shirt, blue jeans, same ugly colored shoes, and a visor. Yeah, there we go. Ugly as can be. Save it. Not my fault. Or not my problem, rather. I don't have to wear it. Let's assign both of you to gift shop while I'm thinking about it. Confirm. Yes. And this is where the magic comes. This is where you can save yourself a lot of headaches, a lot of money on recruiting and hiring and paying for cleaners that are completely unnecessary. Open every day of the week. You are my full-time guy. So John, you want the place to be clean. I agree with you. I want the place to be clean too. So here's how we're going to do it. You are going to come in for 1 hour every day after your shift and clean the store. See how that works, John? You do a good job cleaning, you have a nice clean work environment. If you do a crappy job cleaning, I'm going to fire you. So you won't have to worry about working in a unclean work environment. Too many hours. Oh, son of a... Seriously. There we go. Turn this off for all hours. Kind of gets a little finicky here. We have to go through and manually take John off of each one and bring Sanford in for him, but it's not the end of the world. And we'll go ahead and advance the next couple of days so you can see that this does in fact keep the store clean. One more over here. So we have 30 hours a week for the part-time, which is the most hours he wanted to work. We have 40 hours a week for Mr. John Costa, who wants a clean work environment, and we put that in his hand. So it's on you, John. If the place isn't clean enough, do a better job cleaning it. Sanford, 8% cleaning is pretty terrible, but, you know, I didn't hire you to clean. I hired you to be a body to man the cash register. Inventory stuff looks pretty good. We've actually sold a fair number of flowers today. I'm going to do the cleaning this one last time.
Well, look at who's the boss.
Just because I'm not sure that they'll come in and clean the same day that I hired them. But after this shop's going to be, other than inventory being delivered, this shop is going to be running itself, which is awesome. Lets me focus on doing other things, like possibly looking at getting wine in here. I don't think we could fit enough cigar shelves in here to make it worth doing cigars. And I think some of the dirt must be hidden behind these. There we go. Alright.
Floors are looking good. Make sure you keep them clean. You don't want the customers walking
Yeah,
around.
Fred, it would have been nice of you to tell me that when I first opened the store.
Now, back
Instead of
to
waiting
business.
several days later. Thankfully, I kind of know. I've worked in retail before. Something to drink. Yeah, we're way ahead of you, Uncle Fred. Appreciate the help. So we need $8,000 in our bank account. We're quite a ways off of that right now, but we'll get there. And we're just going to go ahead and fast forward through the next couple of days. Just see how the store gets on. So we will sleep until, let's sleep until 8 o'clock. Well, there's no real reason to wake up that early. Here's what we'll do. We'll sleep till midnight. Grab something to eat. Then we will sleep till midnight and see how we get on with just the employees running the store. I'm assuming we didn't actually just spend 24 hours hibernating in the bed. This just kind of represents us doing things. So $2,300 on a Thursday is not terrible, not great. Let's see, the store is 100% clean. And that's just with 1 hour cleaning for him. He's happy. He's happy with his important clean work environment. So everything's good. I didn't have to go spend the $500 to recruit a cleaner and then find out that the 5 recruits, everyone wanted full-time and a gold health insurance plan. Instead, I just make my just like in real life, we just make the people that work here do the cleaning. The only exception to this, obviously, is the white-collar jobs. They're way too high class to push a mop or a broom. So you'll have to hire cleaners for them if you get one with a clean work environment. And eventually, obviously, money's going to be big enough that you're just not going to care. Maybe if you run a 24-hour clean or restaurant, you might want to hire a couple of cleaners, 3 cleaners or whatever, just to keep the spot clean. But you can actually do this even with a split shift. You can go ahead and save the game because we're going to call it quits here in just a moment. We will call this YouTube playthrough. We'll go ahead and save that. But I could go in here, for instance, I could take this schedule. If I wanted to open the store at different times, really works well for restaurants sometimes. We'd have a second opening time, say 3 to 5, and then I could have brought my other person in. They can clean. It gets a little finicky trying to find an open spot. But we made it work here. And then he would clean for an hour, then the store would be closed, and it would keep the store just perfectly clean. You can use your best judgment. For restaurants, I always have 2 cleaning stations. That way I can have 2 people clean. Just like at the end of the night, at the end of your shift, you clean up a restaurant. If you ever work restaurants, you know what I'm talking about. The back of the house basically works an hour after they close just to get everything clean and sanitary for the next day. But with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found that little trick with the cleaning people to be helpful. I know that there's a lot of complaints in the forums about having to hire part-time, trying to find part-time cleaners, and all you get are full-time cleaners, and they have ridiculous demands. This way, you just ignore it. You don't even hire cleaners, with the exception, of course, of the white-collar places. If it did help you, please leave me a thumbs up. Leave a message down in the comments below, and if you'd like to see more tips and tricks and see me bumble around New York trying to become a tycoon, then hit that subscribe button. It really does help. It's the only way to make the channel grow. Thank you and have a great day.